YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Now in this particular clip, this woman who is 30 years old is saying that she's moving back home with her mother because this independent boss chick status lifestyle is a scam. So I want to get into what she had to say. I definitely want to hear y'all thoughts on this one. What do you think about her moving back home to her mom's basement at 30 years old? Do you think that is okay? Do you think this, this would be looked at in a negative way amongst other women? If this was a man, do you think that he would be, embraced and women would look at him as this, as something, that's if it's okay, or will they shame him and condemn him if he had to do the same thing? So I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Share and like the video, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Here we go.
Why I'm moving back in with my mama? Who told us that it was smart to be single and pay all your bills by yourself? Car note, house, what is called rent, light bill, water bill, gas bill, grass cut, insurance, phone bill, daycare, ABA therapy for my son. What the f? I'm done. My mom's single. I'm single. Her house, she owns her house. I'm renting my house. Her bills are half of what I'm paying, not even half. Why the f am I paying full rent for some that I'm not gonna own? I'm done. I'm moving back in with my mom, and right now I'm painting the basement because this is where I'm gonna live until I get married. It's a scam. It's a scam. They lied to us. It's a illusion.
Now, let me just stop her for a second. It's just interesting. And you know what I think of when I hear women who at least, tell the truth about the struggles that they're facing trying to do it all alone. I think this should be an example to a lot of the other women who are still trying to hold it down when it comes to, convincing other young women that this independent single life is so great, that it's just all gravy and it's just peaches and cream. We don't need no man. Hooray. I think other women should use this as a tool to kind of guide your steps. Not saying that you can't be successful by yourself, but you should. You gotta weigh the pros and cons. You gotta be smart about it. And the fact that we have so many educated Black women who like to tout that as something to be proud of, which it is an accomplishment, and I'm not trying to take it away, but use it. Use it not in just one way to boast about it. You actually use the common sense and the knowledge and the education that you have to understand what is really going on out here. You can't be educated in one sense and then straight delusional in another. It doesn't really benefit you in that way, in my opinion. So I just think use that sense to see what's really happening, to weigh the pros and cons. Look at the entire picture, not just the parts that you want to see, but look at it all. And look at the amount of women who are independent, single, educated, don't need no man. Look at the majority of those women and see how they're doing versus the majority of the other women who chose to do it a different way, who understands what a relationship is and how you build with a man, and see how they're doing. And stop looking at the small anecdotal outcomes that you want to, put so much stock into and focus on them because that's what you want, when that is not the reality, and that is not the majority of successful outcomes. There are more, in my opinion, of women, single mothers who are out here struggling than women who have chosen to be married and build their families with a man. There are more single mothers out here who are struggling in this very situation that she's in, especially in this day and age, with all of these women losing jobs, the economy, prices, food, everything is getting more and more expensive. It's going to be even harder for you to stand alone doing all of this by yourself. We see the homelessness rates are going up. We see more women and children who are homeless living outside of their cars. We see it happening before our eyes, but a lot of women are still in denial, thinking that, oh, that's not going to be them. That could never be them. Oh, I'm just going to, steadfast into what I believe. I don't need no man. I'm going to do it by myself. And they're not even trying. So, because they want to just believe that this is not something that's happening, with a lot of women. And it is. And so I just think, listen, it's not, because women will say, oh, it's not all about a man. Right. But that's what it ends up being about. A lot of women start off with this independent mindset when they have good jobs, when they're doing great, right? They're not thinking about the down times. You're not thinking about when the ebbs and the flows start and when things can go up and things can go down. That is just life in general. I don't know why women don't realize that and realize that it's not always going to look pretty. And you have to be prepared for the hard times. You got to understand that even in business, there's the, good months and there are bad months. You don't just consistently make the same amount of money the whole time. You're up and you're down. That's the ebb and flow of everything in life. And so I don't understand how women don't realize that. Once again, I think with women, they don't look at the full picture. If things are going great, they just assume it's going to go great the whole time. When things start crashing down, when the downside comes, then they're depressed and crying and wondering what the hell happened. Just like we saw all those women on social media crying about losing their job, saying, I've never experienced this before. When men, on the other hand, experienced that a lot. And so they were prepared for it. Women aren't prepared for the downsides. This is why they think when they get in a relationship with a man that it's supposed to always be, cake and buttercream and frosting. It's always, great. It should always be great. And when things aren't as great, they don't know how to deal with that. It's like, oh my God, wait a minute. This doesn't feel right. It's not going the way I want it to. This seems like it's toxic because you're not used to going through anything. A lot of women, or you don't want to go through anything. You don't know how to deal with issues. You don't know how to resolve conflicts. You don't know how to navigate that because you don't think that you should go through anything. And this is also a problem that a lot of people have in relationships. You want this smooth sailing, perfect situation 24/7 for the rest of your life. That's just unrealistic, baby. And that goes for men and women. That is unrealistic. There's no way you're going to go through any amount of time with a person and you not have any disagreements. You don't go through any ups and downs. And there's never going to be any obstacles that occur in your relationship. That is just unrealistic and that is untrue. And if you're going into a situation thinking that is the case, you're going to end up by yourself. And every relationship that you get into, it's going to end badly because you have this preconceived notion that a relationship is supposed to be perfect. There should never be any arguments, no differences, no nothing. That is totally unrealistic. Now, it doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be, the all hell break loose type of situation. It doesn't have to be disrespectful. It doesn't have to be the worst thing ever. Like every argument or disagreement or whatever that comes up shouldn't be, oh, it's the end. But you got to understand that there are going to be, it's just unrealistic to believe that a relationship is never going to have any differences, any, arguments or anything like that. That is a delusional way of thinking. And a lot of people go into relationships thinking that, and then when it occurs, they're like, oh, something got to be wrong with this. No, that's the whole point of when you say for better or worse, sickness, it covers it all, sickness and in health, richer or poor, because whoever wrote these vows understood that money fluctuates. Money could go up, money go down. You could lose your job. You could, you could get sick. That could prevent you from working. If you can't work, then that means the money is going to, dwindle. But this is why you have to be smart about what the choices that you make and the things that you do. You prepare for a rainy day, because why? There will be a rainy day when things change. But the commitment is there that y'all gonna work through those differences because they're going to arise. That you're gonna work through them no matter what. You're gonna stay together. You're gonna make it work. Baby, the way these young women talk about relationships today, child, I just listen and shake my head because I'm just like, Y'all really don't understand. But these are a lot of young people, and not even just the young ones, a lot of the older women as well, speak as if they've never been in a stable relationship for more than 5 years. A lot of them talk as if they've never had the experience of being in a relationship. And in any relationship that they've been in, they say the man was all toxic, and it was just toxic. It's like you've never been with a man for 5 years or more and really gone through the ups and downs of a relationship to get to the other side. And I'm not talking, and the main thing that I hear a lot of women like to bring up is abuse. I'm never referring to abusive relationships. If you've been in an abusive relationship, whether you're the man or the woman, because a lot of men are in abusive relationships too, which they don't want to talk about that. Just the focus supposed to be the women. No, there are a lot of men who are in toxic, abusive relationships where the woman is beating their ass. So if you're a man or a woman that's in an abusive relationship, I always say leave. That should never be tolerated. You should never be in a situation where a woman or a man is taking advantage of you, abusing you, and there's in no way, shape, or form where that should be tolerated. You should walk away, because I don't consider abuse love. I don't think that anybody that puts their hands on you and just, abuse you constantly, verbally, physically, I don't think any of it should be tolerated. So if that is your situation, I would always advise you to get out of that. That is not love, in my opinion. But if you're not in a toxic, abusive relationship, y'all just having some differences, some disagreements, you're married, or even if you're in a stable relationship, you should be able to have the conversation to figure those things out. You should be able to work through your differences. That's what a relationship is all about. A relationship is not a situation where one person is getting all their needs met and the other one is just coasting. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a give and take. You got to understand that you're dealing with two individuals from two different walks of life, two different upbringings, two different life experiences. So if you're saying, hey, I want to be with you, I care about you, I want to be with you, I care about you, I want to work through it, I want us to be together, I love you, I want to be here, then that's what you are committed to doing. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. There's no such thing as you gonna come into something and y'all never gonna have any difference. That is just that. I think that's a setup. The same way a lot of women were taught about the white picket fence and the house and the 2-car garage and the dog and all of these things. The perfect. There's no such thing as this white picket fence type of relationship. I think people have some couples have better communication. They're able to work through their differences a lot better than others, but there's still going to be differences. There's no such thing as this perfect thing. Oh, I'm get everything that I want 24/7, and if I don't, then I'm out, because that is not, I deserve better. No, baby, that's just a part of life and relationships. I don't care who you are. And anytime you're going into a situation thinking that that's what you're going to get, then you've already failed. You've already failed. It's never going to be that. You have to understand that you're in it to build with a person, to build a life with them. You have kids, you want to raise kids. You got to understand that a relationship is about working together, give and take. It's not about you getting your way. It's not about that person getting all of their way. Y'all got to merge together. You have to compromise. Y'all have to compromise, and communication are some of the key factors to building and maintaining a healthy relationship. That's just it. And you have to be understanding and be cognizant of what that entails and what that means. And you have to be realistic too. You can't go into a relationship with this delusional mindset. Oh, he has to do everything that I say, and he has to jump through hoops to keep me happy all the time. No, that's not healthy on his part. And that's unhealthy and delusional of you as the woman to think that that's what it should be. Because he's a human being too. He has needs, and he has things that he wants as well. Is he supposed to just give you everything and he not want anything in return? It doesn't work like that. I'm just saying. And I think too often people go into relationships thinking that way, and then when they fail, they're clueless as to why. Let's continue.
Tell me, you live by yourself? I've been living by myself for years, for damn near 10 years. And the last boyfriend I had was my kid's dad. That was 2 years ago. And this wasn't even at my house like that. I don't have company. I stay in my room. My kids stay in their room. We use the top half of the house, and that's it. But I'm paying full mother rent. Any apartment I stayed in, I never really had company, which just means like a big ass closet in my house. What the was the point? There's no point. There's no point. It's a scam. All the other coaches understand it, except us. That I'm going to live with my mama, travel the way I want to, eat the way I want to, live the way I want to. That. This is crazy. Yeah. This is not for, look, not to say that I won't ever move out, but it's going to be a while. At least 3 or 4 years. She ain't getting no man no time soon. And then she ain't even got to work no more. Hell no, this is a scam. We living by ourselves. After this, I realized I got a big ass house. 4 bedroom, 3 bath, full basement. For what? A status symbol. To who? There's nobody to show off to. Nobody's watching. That's the problem. People think they fail in front of people and nobody's watching. People think they succeed in front of people and nobody's f***ing watching. It's a scam. It's an illusion. I'm done. I'm about to travel the world when the f*** I want to, how the f*** I want to, because now I'm gonna have money for real.
Listen, what do you guys think about what she had to say? You know what I mean? I do think it's a scam to sell to women, to empower them, to make them think that, oh, it's so great doing it all by yourself. Oh my God, I'm independent. I can do what I want and all of that. And then eventually they get tired of doing it. We see so many educated, independent women who are just tired. They're tired of working. They're tired of doing it all by themselves. They're tired of having to depend on just them. They're tired of doing it. And I'm not surprised because I don't think, once again, I said this before, I think a lot of women wanted to prove a point. They wanted to prove that they could do it. And once they've made that point, known, oh, I could do it. We don't really need y'all. Then now, oh, I want a man now. I'm tired of doing it all. It's just exhausting and it's draining because they didn't think that they would have to do it for a lifetime. They've taken on this mindset that, oh, I'm independent. I'm a boss chick. I don't, I could take care of myself and all of this. And I don't really need a man, but then you really want one. That's the real gag. If women were really serious about it and they really just didn't want a man for real, that they would just walk away from men and just be like, oh, we independent. We traveling the world. We excited. We don't want to have nothing to do with no man. And it shows. Then, it would be a different story. But like, okay, do you living your best life. Y'all not going on dates. You're not trying. You're not on all the dating apps would just fall apart because the women aren't on there at all. You get what I'm saying? Like they really just have walked away from men, that they really not on the dating apps. They're really not trying to go out to these dating events. They really not on these shows trying to find a man. It would be a different story. But as much as women say they don't need a man, but they want, they want one, but they don't need them. And we independent. We so great out here. They all still looking for men. It doesn't add up to me. So this is why I don't believe that, I believe it anyway, that women are just so happy, all of them are just so happy by themselves and they don't need no man child. They want somebody and they tired of paying them damn bills. You tired of paying them bills. That's why you want a man to pay your bills on day one. Stop the cap, and stop lying and being delusional. Y'all know y'all want a man for one reason or another. You want him to pay them bills. You want companionship because y'all still having sex too. Y'all still out here making babies. Y'all still out here sleeping with somebody. So you need a man for something. It is just not completely, you don't need him at all and you just walk. No, because y'all still out here with him. Getting some type of man. Whether it's a Pookie or Ray Ray, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, whoever. You still out here looking for a man. For some reason or another. So this whole idea you don't need him is a bunch of BS. Because you need him for something. You're just having a hard time finding a man who really takes you seriously and really want to be with you because of your mindset. That's just all it is. But we're going to start seeing more and more women who are having to go stay at home or live in shelters or do something because when becomes too much for them to handle by themselves, we're gonna start seeing more women crying out and making these types of moves, because it's just gonna get to a point where they can't do it. You just can't do it all alone. And it was never meant for you to do it all by yourself. That's the real gag. But listen, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content. Y'all definitely chime in. I want to hear what you have to say, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.